Well, hey, we are live and we are so happy to have all of you joining us tonight. I'm thrilled to have this. I'm to you, Nap, in case you don't know me. And this gentleman over here is Dr. Michael Gross, and he has a phenomenal message for you tonight. But first, I'm going to go ahead and let him say hello, and then I'll introduce you, okay?
Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Michael Gross, and here's my motto: You are unlimited. So, thank you for joining us. And I know to you, you want to do the intro, so I turn it over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Michael. And for those of you who used to follow us on Sundays, we did move to Thursdays. So share and invite your friends, okay? Because we do this every Thursday night at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And I'm here because this incredible man next to me has a powerful message. But first, this is the only part we script, okay? Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he's been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and an incredible teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self-empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their own intuitive abilities. Michael currently teaches classes in spirituality, self-empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with God, the true source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. He remains humble, knowing that the work that he does all comes from God, the true source. Michael lives in Lakewood, Washington, and has just launched his nonprofit. And Michael, before you get into the message, would you just mention a tiny bit about your nonprofit?
Sure, it's the International Institute of Self Empowerment, as we call it affectionately, TISI. And it's slowly going along, slower than I expected, but we started working on it. And it's, let's say, it's more involved than people think. It's more than just setting up a business, hanging out a sign, and there you are. So we're working on all the loose ends and putting them all together. And TISI, the International Institute of Self Empowerment, when the True Source said put this together and set up a nonprofit, I said, okay. I never knew what we're supposed to do, but I'm one of those souls that know that when it comes through my soul, the True Source tells me to do something, I don't ask wherefore, why, how come, blah, 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 blah. I know it's supposed to work, and that's what I do. And then I meet this beautiful soul next to me, and I have the honor of coaching her and realize that she's gone through a lot. She's a survivor, and I decided it's going to have 12 arms, the International Institute of Self Empowerment. Actually, the True Source said that. And the first arm is working with abused women, children, and men. And the director of that program is Tio. So everything works out the way it is. We just have to learn to follow True Source inner guidance and listen to our soul instead of arguing it, debating it, and on and on and on and on, which is something I'm going to address in a few minutes. So, Tio, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Michael. I'm honored to be part of your nonprofit. I'm thrilled to pieces to be working side by side with you to help other people that have also gone through violence and domestic violence and abuse. But our topic tonight is programming your day. So thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to turn it right back to you, Michael.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So, the subject I wish to talk about is programming your day. So, first of all, I want everybody to realize that I'm channeling the information. This is not rehearsed, it's not no scripts, nothing is written. So, if I make a mistake, I will correct my languaging or something that I'm saying. And I wanted you to be aware of that. And really, we want to be authentic instead of having a script, reading all this stuff and being grammatically and doing everything perfect. All right. And I really against that because scripts are important. It is an expression of life, but it doesn't give you a chance to really express or say what you so desire to say. So in this instance, programming your day is so important, and I'd like to address it. So the first thing in the morning, you get up and you wake up, maybe to go to the room of rest, as I call it, or the restroom, and you go there. And maybe you have a cup of coffee, Or maybe you think, I got to get dressed, got to take the kids, I got to go shopping, got to do this. And or if you're in the business, I got to get this done, I got to fight. All these things go through your mind, a plethora of information. And justly so, because you experience that every day whenever you're working or you're a mother or a father or whatever you are, a single person. But more importantly is thoughts are things. And that's what I want to address because well, whatever you're thinking, what's going to happen is you're going to manifest that in your life. What you think, you create. What you create, you experience. Now, you've heard me say that before. But in programming your day, it's so important to understand how do you want your day to go? It's not the tight, little bit of minutia. How do you want it to go? So you look at the big picture. And the big picture means I'm on time for my appointments, everything goes smoothly, everyone is in harmony and balance with me. I'm in harmony and balance with them. I get my work done. Any research I need or desire, I find it quickly, rapidly, and easily, and so on and so forth. So, this is what's called programming your day. But what you subconsciously don't realize is when you get up in the morning and you do your things in the morning, I got to go to work, I got to put up with this person, I'm going to fight traffic. All these things that you encounter every day, you are also manifesting that into your life. All your thoughts, are you doing it intentionally? Of course not. No, you're not. But what you are doing is unintentionally bringing this forth in your life. And if you understand that, one of the things you need to understand is what do you want each day to be like in your life? Not only in your work life, but people you're working with having fun and enjoying and seeing. So you need to understand all that is occurring. I'm just a little chilled here, so I'm going to pull up my jacket here. It's a little cold. So, what I wanted you to understand is that the thing that we need to know is that our life is one beautiful life, and we can determine what our life is. And what do you want your life to be? Well, that's a very good question. What do you want it to be? Not want to. What do you desire it to be now? And that you need to understand what do you desire it to be? Is it joyous? Is it happy? Is it keeping you angry or upset? All this is just programming your day, but it also is programming your life. And that's another thing you need to be aware of. What are you programming in your life? What are you thinking in your life? So everything that occurs in your life, you are creating. And I know some people say, well, I didn't want to create an automobile accident. I didn't want to create being late in life or being late at work. I didn't want to create having an argument with my husband or wife or my children or friends or whatever. The answer is yes, you did. Because your mood, your thoughts are dictating what's going to be happening for that day. And even if we stretch it out for the week, for the month, or the year, I've heard people say, oh, it's going to be a difficult year. Yep, it's going to be because you just created that. Or it's going to be a difficult day. Yep, you created it. Of course, then they get angry and upset with me, go, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Well, why are you saying that? What's the reason you're saying that? And that's the question I ask all of you. So, what are you saying each and every day? What are you thinking about each and every day? And what's your direction in life? I don't know about you, but I want my day to go smoothly, easily, effortlessly, joyously, and happily. I want to be in harmony and sync. And sometimes I'm around angry people, upset people, and I just kind of back off. So, how do you handle angry, upset, and people that are let's say creating chaos? Well, the first thing is you want to stay away from them, obviously, because the mood that they're in, you don't want to engage them. However, what you need to do is understand that they're having a bad day, whatever the reason is, family, friends, relatives, whatever. And the next thing is that you need to have compassion for them. And the last thing is to do a little meditation, very simple, and ask the true source to send that person healing and unconditional love. That is so important. Sending healing and unconditional love. Not you, but the true source. Well, why do you want to do that? Because you want to change their energy. You want to change their vibrations. You want to change them so that they bring about joy and happiness in their life and not upset the apple cart. In every business I've been, there's always somebody that's a know it all, always somebody that tries to control everything. and always someone that likes to upset the apple cart, and always somebody that's sensitive, and everybody and somebody thinks they're picked on, and so on and so forth. Well, who's creating that? You see, when you are in the mood, you feel like a victim. People are going to come and make you feel like a victim. When you feel you are worth less, you're going to be around situations that are going to make you feel worth less. When you feel unloved, you're going to attract that around you, what you feel unloved. So you're probably saying, why in the world would I ever want to attract that in my life? Well, first of all, it has to do with your ego. Ego, edging God out. The next thing it has to do is, what do you feel about yourself? You know, there's an old saying, God don't make no junk. You probably heard that cliche, or I hope you've heard that cliche. So first of all, you're not a piece of junk. You're not insignificant. The only reason you think you're insignificant is because you feel you're insignificant. You may feel you're ignored or unimportant, but you ever think maybe the next person who's not paying attention to you might be going through something that's very traumatic in their life, and they're deep in thought, and therefore they don't want to engage in a conversation. It has nothing to do with you. That's so important for you to realize. And then on the other hand, we talk about programming your day. Let's supposing you're going to go out to a party. And you go, oh, the same people there, they're probably going to get drunk, they're going to be boisterous, they're going to be accusatory, or they're going to be doing drugs, or they're going to be doing this or that, or they're going to be controlling and manipulative, they're going to judge me. Guess what happens? All that happens to you. Every bit of it happens to you. And you feel very vulnerable, unloved, and unworthy. I just got to adjust this again. And so, understanding that, the way they feel that way, it's also important for you to understand that you are creating that. The reason you're creating that is because you feel that way. So, who's in control of your life? You are. What are you doing to draw those things into your life? You are. So, how do you change that? Stop your thinking. As we say, reverse engineering. But when you think about that, the people go, yes, but, yes, but, yes, but, yes, but. And you'll go, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then after a while, after you're through listening to them, yes, but, yes, but, yes, but, just say, look, you're creating it. And then they get angry, they get upset with you, they get pissed off at you, and you're thinking, I feel guilty. No, they would not feel angry, upset, or pissed off at you unless you push their button. And when you push their button, it's because of the truth. That would be like looking at a man or a woman, we'll say a woman, who is 5'4" and weighs 112 or 114 pounds. And you go to her, oh, gee, you look really great. I see you took off some weight. What do you mean? You think I'm fat? Well, at that height and that weight, that person is thin, but they have a fear of being fat. So in their mind, they're hearing you're calling them fat, you took off weight. On the other hand, you're saying you're being complimentary. You look great. Not that you were fat before, but you look really great. Maybe they only took off 2 or 4 pounds. Who knows? But it's how our thinking is. And our thinking is what controls our emotions. And our emotions control what we say. And what we say control how we express ourselves. So here we are in a relationship, person to person, and we have to be careful of what we say. Now, we all tell little white lies. It's like me putting on a suit and they go, oh, that's a great, you like my suit? Don't I look good? And you're looking, looks horrible on you. Well, you're not going to say, Michael, it looks horrible on you, Michael, because you don't want to offend the person. You go, it looks, it looks pretty good. And that's about it. And then you might tell them later, that suit's nice, but that blue suit you really look great on. And that's how you would handle it. And of course, there's the always trap that I kind of have humor is that I learned this, and that when you're with your wife or your love of your life, and she'll turn around, isn't that woman beautiful? Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? And you're being set up in the trap. And the way you answer about, what woman? What woman? What are you talking about? And the reason that your wife or girlfriend is saying that is because she doesn't feel attractive or pretty. But that's in her head, because you wouldn't be with her unless you thought she was attractive or pretty. Or maybe it's your husband and he's saying the same thing, and you wouldn't be with him unless you see the beautiful and handsome and his wonderful personality. It's so interesting as we as men or women how we set up traps to reinforce our thinking. Because if you turn around and say, well, that man is really handsome or that woman's really beautiful, you're reinforcing their inferior thoughts of lack of self worth, self love, and self esteem, and they don't feel beautiful or handsome. And that's not true. You're with that person, whatever it is, even your child, because you know they're beautiful inside and out in your eyes. And really, that's all that counts. Not my eyes, not anyone else's. It's yours for each other. And that's so important. I did a wedding once, and this person, as his future wife, was walking down because I'm about to perform the ceremony. Goes, isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? Oh my God, she's so beautiful, so beautiful. I went, yes, she is. And she was a good-looking woman, beautiful woman. And in his eyes, she was the most gorgeous woman, and that's all that's important. And the funniest part is can I kiss her now? No, we're not ready for the ceremony. Can I kiss her now? It was really very humorous until I did the ceremony. I said, okay, now you can kiss her. It's okay. And he couldn't wait. But you see, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, which we've all heard that. And in his eyes, she was gorgeous. And that's immaterial what I thought anybody else thought. It's all about him and all about what he felt like. So that's so really important. To you, do you wish to add something?
I do. So, why is it that we are so prone uh, to setting up, you know, the other person, our partner, to get the compliments that we're so desperately seeking? Like, are we insecure? Is it our ego, or why are we setting them up?
You hit it right on the nose. It's your ego. It's the person's ego. It's their insecurity, lack of self worth, self love, and self esteem. That's exactly what it's all about. And what happens is that we or that person is so insecure, whether self worth, self love, or self esteem, they need to be stroked continually to feel good about themselves. When really the only person that can make you feel joyous and happy is you. I can give a person a gift and they feel joyous and happy, but an hour or 10 minutes later or the next day, it's like they need a new fix. They need someone else or something else to help them feel joyous and happy. And then you can never get enough. I watch people buy all these toys. By that I mean boats, cars, clothing, whatever. And they're always buying something to make themselves feel good. But the things they bought 6 months ago, they're laying on the side, they're not using it, they're no longer excited about it. And that's because each of us are searching for the magic elixir that will make us feel good and happy and enjoy us. And that can only come from within you to make you feel good about yourself. You know, I call it a hood ornament. The old days we used to get a car and we had an ornament on the hood, and that they were fancy and they had like flying horses and they had women, had men, and all this stuff. And we go around looking for things, that hood ornament, to make us look good, to make us feel good. When whatever you are projecting in your thoughts, you are becoming. And I don't think a lot of you think about that. Your thoughts, your energy is projecting what you feel about that. Sometimes we used to call it stage presence. People would walk into a crowd and everybody would look, wow. And maybe this person was, good looking, not exceptional, whatever they are, whatever sex they were or are. But that feeling, the emotion that they projected, of feeling confident and good and happy and feeling joyous and glad to be there, that's exactly what they're projecting. That's why everybody looks at the person like that. And if you walk into the room and you feel confident and good about yourself and happy, every head, well, almost every, will turn to you and look at you. And you go, wow, Well, why would you ever do that? Because you're changing the vibrations and energy of the room. Not so much that you are important, but what's important is you're making everyone feel good about themselves. You know how often, oh, I got to invite Jane or John because they're funny and they're the life of the party. Well, why can't you be the life of the party? You don't have to be humorous. You just have to be genuine. And that's the important thing. Many of us are forgetting that we are generous, genuine, and that we are a good soul. So you buy a pretty dress, or you buy a suit or a shirt, you put on makeup, or you dye your hair, or whatever you do. Try to make yourself look gorgeous or handsome, or whatever the case may be. But it's really, what are you projecting from your heart and your soul? That's what's so important. You know, Alex Trebek, he was on the famous TV show Jeopardy, and everybody loved him because he projected sincerity. He was kind. He was thoughtful. He didn't have to tell jokes, but you knew he wanted you to win. He wanted to help you, and he respected you. And that's why he was on, I don't know, 20, 30 years, however long it was. And that's what's so important. And that's what you can do. You can change your world. You can change everybody around you by your energy, your attitude, and how you feel about yourself. Because in the bottom line is each one of us are a role model to one another. And the role model is don't be like him, don't be like her, or gee, I'd like to be like him, I'd like to be like her, or whatever it is. That's so important. And you know, I was sitting with my son, and we had a little family gathering. And we were talking, and he said, "You know, Dad, when you had your businesses, I had to work there if I wanted money." And he said, "You know, I'm so glad because I want my children to do that, do the same thing, because I learned about money, how to control money, and how to spend money properly. And if I wanted something, I didn't have to go to you and ask you for money. I knew you'd give it to me. But more importantly, you taught me to the value of money and to work for whatever I so desire." And now he's a very successful entrepreneur. And the same applied to my daughter. But getting back to all of you is that when you learn the gift of how to go about creating your life, because what did he do? He wanted money. He worked in the business. He was paying money. So that's creating your life, creating whatever you so desire. So in my day when I was growing up, as you work, father said, the harder you work, the more lucky you are. Oh, I'm going to be lucky because I'm working harder. Well, then it changed, working smarter. And that's what it's all about. Working smarter, you become more successful. But that smarter, that feeling of success, that feeling of knowingness comes in here within your heart. And it comes in a feeling that, yes, I can. Because, you know, I use this, you're unlimited. And many of you say, you know, have seen me speak before. And my mother told me since I was 6 or 7, I don't know, 8, Michael, you can do anything. Michael, you can do anything. And that's the truth. So I want to pass this on to each one of you. And in closing and passing on to each one of you is that the only limitations you have are deep within your own thoughts. The only limitations you have is how you feel about yourself. The only limitations that you have is your feeling of lack of self worth, self love, and self esteem. And I want to pass on to this thought as the true source told me: success and failure is only a thought away. That's how powerful you are. So remember that success and failure are only a thought away. And I know I'm looking at the clock and we're running down on time. And I know we've got approximately 5 minutes left. But I wanted to ask all of you to ask others to join us on this podcast. And of course, these are replays, meaning that you can watch them. And all you have to go to is Dr. Michael Gross at YouTube. And not only can you see the podcasts that Tio and I are doing, but also my words of wisdom, which are 10-minute little, uh, let's say, motivational thoughts. And there's that beautiful photographs with some of the sayings from the true source. The photographs are taken by TU. and she's an award-winning photographer. So I'm sure you will enjoy them. But I want to talk about a few other things, and that is every Tuesday evening we have what I call Words of Wisdom, in which you call in from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Sometimes we run a few minutes early, sometimes a few minutes later, but you ask any questions you desire about spirituality, and hopefully I can answer them. And at the same time, I deliver a motivational message that's 8 to 12 minutes long. And so to access that, it's on freeconferencecall.com. We're not doing it on Zoom. Maybe someday we will, but I thought, well, maybe you just finished eating. Maybe, you don't want to, you got your play around clothes on, jogging. You don't feel like getting dressed, looking good on Zoom. Nothing wrong with Zoom. But on freeconferencecall.com, you can dress any way you want. You can nibble on anything you so desire. So to access that number, all you need to do is
You dial 202 926 1059, and the access code
is 125-446-pound.
one more time. It's 202 926 1059, and the access
The
code.
access code is 125-446-pound. And the beautiful part about this, everyone, is that I have what I call the replay. And the replay are the recordings. And if you're stuck in traffic, you're angry, you had an argument with someone or whatever, just go someplace and get on your phone and you call the number, and there's 257 or 258, and it's going to ask you what number. Well, I started at number 3, and it goes to 257, 258, and you don't know what one. So whatever number comes into mind, number 97, number 127, whatever it is, and you go, how many times do I get a phone call? Guess what, Michael? I didn't know what number it is, but it's just what I needed to hear. So I encourage all of you, for 8 or 10 minutes, it's going to be very motivational and help you heal. And to access that information, all you need to do is
You dial 434 300 4170, and the
the
access code.
access code is 125-446-pound, the same thing.
Okay, I'll give that number one more time. It's also in the comments on the Facebook page as well as in YouTube. So it's 434 300 4170, and the access code, Michael.
125-446-pound. There we go. And I would like to alert everybody that on the second Saturday of every month, I do a mass consciousness healing. And that starts at 9:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it goes to 11:01 a.m. Pacific Time. And what happens is that for the first 3 to 5 minutes, everybody calls in, we introduce each other. I speak for 1 or 2 minutes, then we go into silence. So should you dial in late and you hear the silence, it's not that we're not there, is that we're sending healing to the mass consciousness. And think about that. Look at all the anger, the frustration, the illness, the insecurity, lack of self worth, self love, and self esteem, inflation, everything that's going on throughout the planet, throughout our world. There's so much concern going on. And by sending love, this is a beautiful thing to do. So you send love to the planet, to its inhabitants, you and I, the animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom, because everything is energy and has an intelligence. But more importantly, what happens is that it touches your heart and changes you. So to access this, use the same number as the Tuesday night call in, and that telephone number is one more time, please.
It's 202 926 1059, and the access code.
125-446-pound. So I would rely on all of you to tell everybody about this. So what is my ulterior motive? Well, my ulterior motive, my mission and goal in life, is to wake up all the souls from their deep slumber. Call it soul awakening. to reconnect with God, the true source, or true source as I call it, so that they can make a difference, so that we can turn around and turn this beautiful planet into the Garden of Eden. Someday I'll explain this, but it was supposed to be a place of R&R, a place of healing and joy and happiness. And it got all mucked up. That's MUCK in case you misunderstand me, all mucked up and fouled up. And we still have that opportunity to change things or live in a world full of chaos. I don't know about you, but I want to live in love, joy, and happiness. And that is
Me
each
too.
one of our birthright. So it's up to you. You can make a difference. And I want all of you to understand and know that this is brought to you by Healing the Holes in Your Soul by T.U. Knapp.
And The Spiritual Primer by Dr. Michael Gross. And I will say that this is the best doggone book I've ever read, because this book and the man right next to me is the reason that the book he's holding even got written. You have changed my life, Michael. You have been an incredible gift in my world. And I just want to let everybody know that because of Michael, I've got so many things opening up, so many opportunities, and so much growth, that we do hold the answers within us. Michael has the key to unlock that, to help us move forward. Every single one of us has a soul. Reach out to Michael if you feel like there's anything missing in your life, because he does hold the key to help you get there too.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Michael. Oh, and he has a new book coming out. Why don't you take a minute, Michael, and tell them about it?
Before I do that, the Healing the Holes in Your Soul is a story about a woman like the proverbial phoenix rose from the ashes, from the fire, into a rebirth of joy and happiness. And she's really a role model for us. Read the book. It'll give you a lot of strength and understanding. And the new book, I should say, or the book that I have, the Spiritual Primer, I chose to put an addition in it, and it's all about the 12 manifestation protocols. And it's a wonderful addition. It'll change your life. I've done a lot of workshops on it. I'll be repeating it again in the year 2023, and it will change your life. But I would encourage you to read the book. And it's important because it will open up your heart, will help you give direction in your life, because that's the main point. My mission and goal, as I said, to help you understand you are the solution, you can make a difference, and to reconnect with God, the true source, so that you can manifest your spiritual mission and goals.
One more thing, Michael. This is a wonderful, wonderful holiday gift. It's a gift that will continue to give and keep on giving as long as the owner still got it in his hands, his or her hands. This is a gift that can change lives. It's changed mine thanks to this book and Michael. It's changed my life. And just really quick, when you change one person, how many generations are we actually changing?
You change 3 generations in the past, minimal, and 3 in the future. That's pretty gosh darn powerful.
There you go,
And
a gift that continues to keep on giving.
you're absolutely right. So thank you. Anyway, we want to wish you a happy day, a joyous time, and we want everybody to realize you are unlimited.
Limited.
Namaste. Have a
Namaste.
great week, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Michael.
you.